Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Cutting Through It. Oh my goodness. Today's episode that I was going to do, I decided to change because a video that I saw this morning while I was just looking at TikTok popped into my feed, and it just honestly broke my heart. And it didn't just break my heart for the client, this person that was posting it, very emotional, but it also broke my heart for the hairstylist and the salon as well. So if you've ever struggled, how do I deal with a client that isn't happy with the service that I've done or has left and they're not happy and you've just kind of blown it off, this is a great episode for you because I really want to share with you how to handle those situations because none of us want a client on TikTok talking bad about us and sharing with the world something that really upset them. We want our clients to be sharing with the world what a great experience they had with us. So let's get into the episode. Hey there, and welcome to Cutting Through It. I'm Sherry Brody, and after more than 40 years working behind the chair, rebuilding my business multiple times, making plenty of mistakes, and learning some hard lessons along the way, I've discovered what really works when it comes to building a successful business working behind the chair. That's what this podcast is all about. This is where I share those lessons with you. All my stories, my successes, my failures, and the things, most of all, that I wish someone had taught me when I was starting out. My hope is that what I've learned can help you avoid some of the struggles I faced. Build your business a little faster and create a career behind the chair that you truly love. So if you're ready to learn from my successes, my mistakes, and everything in between, you're in the right place, my friend. Let's dive in. Before we get into today's episode, I want to quickly share something I'm really excited about. For the first time, I'm opening up Own Your Chair Like a Pro, a program I created because I see so many talented hairstylists trying to figure out the business side of this industry all on their own. You learn how to do hair, but nobody really teaches you how to build your brand, attract the right clients, keep those clients coming back, price and plan your business, and actually build a chair that supports the career that you really want. And that's what I want to help you do. For this first round, I'm looking for just 10 founding hairstylists because I want to personally walk alongside you as you go through the program. I want to hear what's working, where you're getting stuck, answer all your questions, and use your feedback to make this program even better. The investment on your part to become one of my founding members is just $197. And I want you to know, I will never offer Own Your Chair Like a Pro at this price ever again. I kept this first investment intentionally low because I want these 10 founding stylists to go through this with me, put it into practice, and give me their honest feedback along the way. Because $197 really is a pretty small investment when you think about what building a stronger clientele, a more successful career can give back to you for years to come. But I do want you to know this isn't something you just watch and hope things change. I'm looking for stylists who are ready to learn, willing to do the work, and ready to start taking ownership of their chair and their career. Applications are open now through August 23rd. And once I have my 10 founding members, I'm closing this group. If that sounds like where you are right now, I'd love to work with you. You'll find the link to apply in today's show notes. All right. Let's get into today's episode. Okay, so the viral TikTok video this morning. Some of you may be listening to this and going, I think I know what she's talking about. But I wanted to share this. It really made me want to do an episode on this because I really feel like, we've got to remember that for our clients, their hair, it's not just hair to our clients. So in this particular video, it was a gal that she had a service. She had a perm put into her hair. She had shared that, she'd saved money for this. This was a big deal for her to be able to get her hair done. She was a minimum wage person, so she didn't have a lot of money. And so, but her hair, she'd been growing it, and she was so excited about getting a perm. And she felt like she really trusted the salon and the stylist to do it for them. She went in for the consultation, and the stylist had done a test strand. But when the service happened. She left, and her hair after she got home with it and washed it the first time, I mean, just the video itself, you could tell her hair had been very damaged. It wasn't curly, it was really damaged. And she was very clearly upset. And I could tell when she was sharing this video that it was really from her heart and that she wasn't wanting to share this video. But I want to share with you a little bit of some key points of the video so you kind of understand. And, as a hairstylist, this is probably going to make you cringe. And maybe if you're not a hairstylist listening to this, maybe you've had a bad experience. I don't know. But once she realized her hair was not doing great, she called the salon and talked to the stylist. And first of all, I just want to make something clear. This is nothing judge-wise on this stylist, because honestly, this is just a TikTok video from a client. This stylist probably did everything in her power to make sure this didn't happen. But sometimes, guys, chemicals just don't jive. And sometimes we can do all the things, do all the precautions, but sometimes things like this are going to happen. We're going to have clients, we're going to have situations in our chair where it turned out bad. And we know it turned out bad. And I'm pretty sure the stylist probably did know it was bad. I mean, the gal called and talked to the stylist, and she had said, the stylist had consulted with her, did all the things, found, asked her certain colors, types that we all know don't jive and mix with perms. So, but she didn't understand what had happened. And she called the stylist and said, what can you do for me? And the stylist she felt that the stylist did not care at all. The stylist was not willing to have her come back in and look at the hair and see what she could do. The client asked for, then I would like a refund. And the stylist said, I don't ever give refunds on my work. And ended up through the conversation hanging up on the client. Now, I wasn't there. I've been in situations where clients can go cuckoo bananas. And from the looks of this video, this girl was quite upset. But she's justified in being upset. She's justified because her hair was ruined from the perm, and she's going to have to cut a lot off to have it look good again. She's going to have to. And she was devastated because her hair was like her whole identity. And we as hairstylists, sometimes we don't take that into consideration. But I want to kind of pause here for just a minute, because sometimes I'm putting myself in that hairstylist's shoes, and this hairstylist probably feels horrible about it. Absolutely horrible. But instead of bringing the client in and facing this, she came across very uncaring because she was running from an uncomfortable conversation. Now, when we go back to the story, I'm talking about, the video itself. I personally could not finish it because it was upsetting to me because, I'm a hairstylist. I don't want to see another hairstylist get bashed on social media. But when I want to try and put myself in the stylist's shoes, and, I don't believe that stylist was uncaring. I can't possibly believe that any hairstylist would be that uncaring. Maybe she was scared of how am I going to deal with this lady who is off her rocker because her hair's fried. And she didn't know what to say. But we got to bring in the salon owner here too, because that wasn't handled right either. As a salon owner, if you are an owner of a suite or a salon and you have other stylists working in that salon, whether they're renting or they're a commission-based employee stylist, you are still the owner of that salon. That salon's reputation, you are in charge of that. And by the owner not bothering to even handle it either, really sent a message to this client that they didn't care. And by them avoiding the client, it made everything worse, because you see, silence communicates something too. This client tried multiple times to give this business an opportunity to respond before she went public. Guys, you don't have to always know how you're going to fix something before you pick up the phone to talk to a client. You just have to be willing to listen to them. So I want to kind of share some things from my own experience, because this girl talking, Sherry Brody, I have had a salon, a big salon for many, many years. And I've seen some pretty crazy stuff in my day and worked in a salon and had to deal with some crazy client situations. I'm not going to go into them right now, but hey, if you ever want to know of one, you can always, in the review bottom section below, leave me a review and send me a message, and I'd be happy to share some of those if you're curious. But the first thing I want to share with you, what I would have done if I was that salon owner and the stylist. First of all, the owner of the salon, once she knew about the situation, should have personally called the client up and talked to her. But before that, the stylist, it was her work, it was her client, and she knew that this person was upset. As scary as it is, she should have said, I want you to come in. Let me look at it. And face it. Face it. Sometimes you're going to have to say you're sorry. I don't know what happened. I'm going to give you a refund, and I'd like to get you in. I know you've been trying to grow your hair, but if you'll give me the opportunity, I'd like to make it up to you. I'd like to give you, I know you don't want to cut your hair, but we're going to have to cut your hair. And I want to give you, I don't care if it's every week, come in weekly to do a deep conditioning service so that we can get your hair back into good shape. And I'm going to give you a refund for this service. That would have been, yes, so humbling and so hard, because it's so hard to say, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. But also, just by bringing that client in and letting her tell the story of what she's seeing with her hair without defending yourself. Because you see, sometimes a client goes home, we tell them everything we that not to do, but they go home and they do it, right? And so when they come in and you listen, you listen and you ask questions and really, really look at them and really find out, she might have found out that her hair may look bad, but she might have been able to do some adjustments to make it look better. It might not have been as bad as this gal made it look on TikTok at all. It might not be. I don't know. I'm not there physically. I'm just telling you what would have really probably changed this whole scenario. People want to be listened to. This gal needed to feel like they cared. And when somebody tells you that, you gotta, when they're telling you this, the first thing is listen. Just listen. Even if they're saying things that are just not nice, if they're really unhappy, let them talk and then wait for them to have a pause and then acknowledge them. I can see that you're really upset and I understand why. How can I fix this for you today? Whatever. But by taking the time to, first of all, acknowledge her, have her come back in, listen to her, and acknowledge to her that she's really upset. And then start assessing. And then be honest about what you can or cannot do to her hair to make it better. And then from this whole thing, then you can decide what you're going to do to make the situation right. Maybe it's not a refund. Maybe she's dramatic and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I think it's going to be okay. But if it's not okay, it's better to lose the money and keep the respect from the client than to defend yourself, to just ghost them, or to just not care. And then you want to continue to follow up. How is it doing? Let her know that you care. Let her know that you care. Today, the stakes are so much higher. Years ago, when I had my salon, it was within the first 10 years of owning it. We had a great reputation in town. Yelp started becoming a big deal. And, you're always going to have those clients that they're just going to complain regardless of what you do. They just are. So I had a training program in the salon, and there was a gal that she was just coming off apprenticing. She was a newer hairstylist, and she had a tough client in her chair. And I personally look back, and she did a great job for what this client wanted. But this client wasn't happy with the service. Even though I had different levels within the salon, she chose this level because of her income level. And I think she just was somebody that she liked doing this. I don't know. I digress because it's still upsetting to me today. But anyways, she left this bad review on Yelp. And it was the first bad review we'd had ever. And you know what Yelp did? Yelp kept it at the top all the time. So if somebody came to look at our salon, they would see that negative review. Like, it cost us a little bit. We ended up having to pay, I think, Yelp, they kept wanting us to sign up, whatever, to be able to adjust that. But that was years ago. But the reason I shared that is because now today, the stakes are higher. They're so much higher. Years ago, an unhappy client, yes, they had Yelp, but they might tell several friends or leave a bad review. But now, like the situation that happened today, this salon is tainted. Hundreds and thousands of people are seeing this video. And my heart is it just aches for the stylist and the salon owner because I'm sure they're very talented. But this situation could have totally been alleviated had it been handled differently. So this is just part of being a hairstylist. This is part of your job. You have to learn how to have these uncomfortable conversations. And you have to learn how to diffuse them. You can't be afraid of clients. Doesn't mean you don't feel it inside, but you can't act that way. Today, we as hairstylists, it is even more imperative that we learn how to handle situations like this in the salon. And yes, this salon had an owner, but you as a hairstylist, you are the owner of your chair. And any client that sits in your chair, you are the brand. Everything that you do, they're watching. And you need to remember that I say this all the time. Your clients are going to remember more about how you made them feel than anything else at all. And the thing that kept coming home to me with this girl, she kept, she didn't want to do this video. She tried. She went above and beyond. But what really made me, I could just see how defeated she was and how her self-esteem is just beat down. And it could have been different. So I want to encourage you today, when you have something like that happens, and if you haven't, you will. It's just part of the business. You can't make every single client happy. But you have to learn a skill, the skill of communication. When somebody says, I don't like it, you have to learn that skill. We all learn the skills of hair, right? Hair cutting, color, all that stuff. But we need to focus in on this skill, the skill of handling it when somebody doesn't like it. First one is you need to listen without becoming defensive. That's a skill. It's a hard thing to do because I'm sure this stylist did everything in her power. And in her mind, she's like, I did everything. It's got to be something she did. But you can't be defensive. You got to listen. You got to take responsibility appropriately. If you look at the hair, whether it be a haircut mistake or a chemical mistake or something, and you look at it and okay, I did. You gotta be willing and humble enough and to say, I'd like to fix it. You're right. I see this. Just handling an unhappy client, that's a skill that you gotta learn to do, and you can't run from it. You can't run from those uncomfortable conversations because we don't want something like this happening. And following up with your clients, that's a skill too, because it's pretty humbling. It's pretty humbling to call a client that is not happy with your work. It's pretty humbling to invite them back in, and it's very humbling to apologize. But these are skills that protect your reputation out there in the community, because you can always, somebody may not like the work you did, but you don't want them out there saying that you didn't care. So I hope this episode gives you some really good, something to think about next time you have something happens at the salon. And hey, if you're going to be around next week, I want to tell you, I'm going to try and do something different. I'm going to try and talk through the things to look for when you're cutting, when somebody asks you for a pixie haircut. Haircutting is one of my jams, and I want to talk you through that. I had a client this past week that I did. She had a really, really different funky head shape. But because I knew what to look for, she booked like 5 appointments before she left because she hadn't found anybody in a while that could do it. And so I thought, well, I'm going to try and talk through a haircut. That's all for today. Don't forget, your clients will remember more about how you made them feel than anything else at all. See you next week. I hope this episode encouraged you today and reminded you that you're not alone behind the chair. And if it helped you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another hairstylist who may need encouragement too. And remember, success behind the chair is built one client, one conversation, and one day at a time. I'll see you guys in the next episode.